MMA and leg sweep Floyd or some crazy shit like that. Right, and I mean, it's understandable to think that something like that could happen, right? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If he gets in a situation where he's starting to lose and maybe his natural instinct is, his survival instinct kicks in and he throws an elbow to the jaw of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and then kicks him in the back of his damn leg like they do in MMA. What happens? What does that mean? I can see that happening. I hope it doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, I think that would actually be kind of interesting to see what happens. The same little video that I posted yesterday with Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock. If you remember at the end of that video, at the end of that fight, the fight was stopped early in a lot of people's opinions. Now, Tyson was about to knock dude out, so I guess it's all in relative terms. But Richard Steele didn't even give Razor Ruddock a standing count, and so he wasn't dead. He wasn't, like knocked out unconscious, standing on his feet or anything like that. So a lot of people felt like that he could have given him a standing 8 count or whatever, and Razor Ruddock could have got back into the fight. I disagree. I think the fight would have been over at any time in the next couple of seconds. But the point is what happens if McGregor kind of just like, reverts back to, MMA, and how does the referee call that? Or how does it deem to be called by the quote unquote terms of the agreement? Very interesting. From RC, Preach K3000, Whitaker was robbed without a gun times in his career versus Jose Luis Ramirez, Chavez, and De La Hoya. From Andre Elam, B. Hill, Crawford, and Rio Deal. I don't know what he's talking about. From Case, Wody, throw in the damn towel 504. Yeah, Jerry, like I would be if I had all that money, dibbling, dabbling in everything I like. From Sidney Stoney Jackson, same here, Wody. Mark Jackson changed the culture similar to Tony Dungy. Then they fired dude on some BS. Right, it's like they made up a damn reason. What was the reason they got rid of Mark Jackson? They never really gave, like, insubordination or anything like that. But they tried to make it sound like him and the owners just wasn't agreeing. It was something to the discussion of the owners being, one of the owners being gay, or one of them being very pro-gay, and Mark Jackson, with this very religious rhetoric that he comes with, him and that person that was very responsive to gay rights or whatever, they butt heads. I don't remember the exact story, but it was some foolishness at the end of the day. Mike Jackson did a phenomenal job, and just like you said, turning around the culture of that organization. For greenhorns that listen to the show, the Golden State Warriors historically have been one of the bottom of the barrel teams in the NBA, at least throughout my life. A couple of times they've had some good players, but they never no more than, mid-tier team in the Western Conference. Most of the time, bottom-tier team. Once in a while, mid-tier team, and they had Chris Mullins and Tim Hardaway, and what was the other guy in the run? What's the name of the damn other? So it was Hardaway. Oh, and Mitch Richmond. So when they had Mitch Richmond and they had Tim Hardaway and they had Chris Mullins, they were pretty damn good. Even back in a couple of years ago, maybe like 7, 8, 9 years ago, when they had, or maybe 10 years ago or so, when they had Captain Jack, when they had Steven Jackson, and they had Baron Davis and those guys, they were fun to watch. But for the most part, the Golden State Warriors have been bottom of the barrel in the NBA since I've been on this earth. From Sidney Stoney Jackson, Doug, tell dude to keep the phone off his mouth. I don't know what was going on with the phone, but he did a great job anyway. Next time we'll make sure that we got everything straightened out with his phone. From Big L X Squad, Mark Jackson is blackballed out of the NBA, has got 0 jobs since turning Golden State into winners, and he's never spoken of when it comes to Golden State. Wody throw in the damn towel 504. He says, Duncan not talking all the credit from Kerr, just saying that they did Jackson wrong. And he is the one of them that got to change the culture to winning team. Somebody's disagreeing with that? Duncan, are you saying that Steve Kerr is the sole reason that San Antonio or the Golden State Warriors have been so successful? No way, Jack. No way. Like, the personnel on that Golden State team didn't change dramatically. As a matter of fact, they probably added a couple of pieces. I don't remember exactly when they came in and when they didn't. But, you know, you're talking about the core team and Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and then I think they already had when Mark Jackson was there. I think Livingston was already a part of the team. I believe Iguodala was already a part of the team. They were right there. They were right there. The next thing for them, the next level for them, was to make it to a finals and win it. And they did it. I'm not saying Steve Kerr is a bum or he's a fraud or anything like that. I'm just saying Mike Brown, who's been ran out of town in 2 different cities, is doing the same. As a matter of fact, Mike Brown is actually doing it better. They are 12-0 in the playoffs. So it is what it is. Nothing against Steve Kerr. You know, it was a great opportunity. He got an opportunity to coach a basketball team in the NBA. I would have taken it too. What I'm saying is, looking at what's going on right now makes you scratch your damn head. Yeah, no boo. No, don't boo. Don't boo. Don't boo. This is facts. This is facts. From KC, he says Doug did this interview last week, so he knew what the guy was going to say. What? Okay, that was live, sir. From Mr. J Twice, I heard a promo for a Fox Sports show, and it sounds like Clay Travis is trying to put on the mind folks that LeBron is on steroids. Why would they say that? Where's any type of definitive evidence of LeBron James being on steroids? Just because he's better and more athletic than anybody? Sound like Jason Whitlock talking about Serena Williams. That sounds silly. From Wody throwing the damn towel 504, Doug Jackson got them to the playoffs for the first time in years. Jackson turned them into winners. Kerr came in and fine-tuned what they already did there. But here's the thing about Kerr coming in and fine-tuning anything. Why do we think that Mark Jackson wouldn't have fine-tuned as he went as well? Why do we think Mark Jackson wouldn't have fine-tuned what he had already fine-tuned the next year and the year after and the year after? Okay, you make it seem like that Mark Jackson had gotten them to this level and he wouldn't have improved on what he had already done. That's the same thing they'll try to tell you about what happened with Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay for the Buccaneers. If Tony Dungy would have stayed in Tampa Bay another year, I very much believe that he would have won a championship. He would have won a Super Bowl. I don't buy into that, man. From Slade, there's a video on YouTube of a Money versus Connor punch-out style where Connor kicks at the head. That ain't good. From Wody throwing the damn towel 504, it wouldn't be enough security to keep Floyd bodyguards out of that ring if Mcregor kicks Floyd. Right, that's the other part of that conversation we were having earlier when I brought up the Riddick, Razor Ruddock fight, not Riddick Bowe, when I brought up the Razor Ruddock fight and Mike Tyson fight. So they stopped the fight early, and at the very end, Riddick Bowe's trainers and managers thought that they stopped it early, and it was this big melee in the middle of the ring with Mike Tyson's people. Back in the day, they used to have that type of stuff happen all the time. You remember Fan Man? You remember Fan Man at the press conferences? It seemed like back in the day they had more fights, at the press conferences than they do these days, the heavyweights in particular. So, yeah, you let Conor McGregor kick Floyd Mayweather in the head. All of the damn Mayweathers coming in there. Not just Roger, not just Floyd Sr., but Brantley, but Leroy Mayweather, Jonathan Mayweather, they all come in there to kick ass. Yeah. From Corporate Brother, they tried to fine-tune the stews with the red zone. See what happens, silly. A very good point, sir. From Fel Pay. Gruden came in and won a Super Bowl with Dungy's guys. They turned around and ran Cadillac Williams into the ground before leaving the game to commentate. A very good point. From ducking and dodging, so would Dale Harris have won a title if he kept coaching the Lakers? That's silly. Even though Dale Harris, at the end of the day, won't be looked back fondly by Laker fans, when Dale Harris was the coach of the Lakers, they didn't have talent. They didn't have a good team, as in the examples we're talking about now. Okay? When Steve Kerr came to Golden State, he had a good team already assembled. When John Gruden came to Tampa Bay, he had a great team already assembled. When Dale Harris, to his defense, when Dale Harris took over the Los Angeles Lakers, they had Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. You're better than that, Duckin.
When Tupac was around, he wanted to raise a nation of thugs. But I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruhs.
Yeah!
Frank Cole.
Yeah. Hey, yo. Thank you for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Really do appreciate it. Fun as usual. If you're new to the show, this is how we do it. This is how we get down. Coming up next on WSME, my man Jeff Fox with the Jeff Fox Show coming to you live from Miami, Florida. Check it out, man. Please check it out. Jeff has a fantastic show, as well as the microwave. Cooking with the microwave. My man John Fisher at 2 p.m. Eastern today, right here on WSME. Listen. Tau Chapter Q's and Lambda Epsilon AKAs are having their 10th annual White Party. It's going down at 595 Event Center in ATL. If you want to get your tickets in advance, go to the whitepearlaffair.eventbrite.com and mention Doug Stewart when they ask you, where'd you hear about it from? Once again, the whitepearlaffair.eventbrite.com. The whitepearlaffair.eventbrite.com. Mention Doug Stewart. All proceeds benefit scholarships and community programs for both chapters. And also, if you want to check out Southern Edge's sweet tea infused with vodka, go to sespirits.com and check out the history on the company, and then go to sunsetcorners.com and order your bottle. That's Southern Edge Sweet Tea. Search Southern Edge Sweet Tea at sunsetcorners.com and put TDSS in your promo code from where you heard about it from. I will be back tomorrow, same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Y'all be careful on them streets. Peace.
When Tupac was around, he wanted to raise a nation of thugs. But I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruhs. Frank Cole, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, 4 founders, Sons of Blood and Thunder. I'm wrecking for the Q, I know it make you wanna. Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, 4 founders, Sons of Blood and Thunder. I'm wrecking for the Q, I know it make you wanna. I'm always in the queue, but you ain't know. I'm resolute to the boot, you don't give me though. In that pack over there, that my dog team. Before I came out the womb, I had purple dreams. Schizo, that my line name. And Ada Mule, that my chain gang. From my yard to any yard, I put that on my life. The Q's going hard. A whole nation full of bruh. Do your duty, lift it up. This ain't about yourself, ain't about your kids. Jail as a unit, and we gon' run the ship. The greatest rap on the planet Earth. But make no mistake, God, I put you first. See, I know my place, and I stand my ground. Q's in the sky, we gon' hold it down. Frank Cole, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love.